Hello everyone. In this episode, we will be covering the topic on Pablo Escobar. So let's begin. Pablo Escobar was born in on 1st December 1949 and he died on 2nd December 1993. He was a Colombian cocaine trafficker who briefly held a political office and later waged a violent conflict against Colombian state. He became a central actor in the decentralized trafficking network, commonly known as Medellin Cartel, and is widely described in Colombian and international scholarship as narco-terrorist for directing a sustained campaign of political violence. Escobar was born in Rio Negro and raised in Medellin. He briefly attended the Universidad Autónoma Latinoamericana before turning to petty crime, including contraband trafficking, document forgery, and car theft. By the mid 1970s, he had become a leading organizer within emerging Medellin networks. Working alongside the Ochoa brothers, Carlos Lheder and Gonzalo Rodriguez Gacha to expand processing operations, secure financing, and establish export corridors linking cocoa paste from Peru and Bolivia to major markets in the United States and Europe. Escobar played a major role in expanding the scale and efficiency of the Colombian cocaine trade during the late 1970s and 1980s. He helped consolidate processing infrastructure, provided capital for laboratory expansion, finance air and maritime transport networks, and used systematic corruption and violence to secure supply routes for Peru and Bolivia while reducing interdiction risk. US agencies estimated national cocaine inflows during the period at roughly 250 to 400 metric tons annually, levels associated with the broader expansion of Colombian trafficking rather than the single actions of any rather than the actions of any single organization. Popular media often portrayed Escobar as Popular media often portrayed Escobar as the singular leader of a monolithic organization, but contemporaneous DEA assessments described Medellin as five or more separate and distinct trafficking organizations that cooperated when advantageous rather than as a unified command. Scholarly research similarly frames the cartel as a coalition of semi-autonomous groups whose leaders control different components of production, finance, logistics, and enforcement. In 1982, Escobar briefly served as an alternate member of the Chamber of Representatives of Colombia, using position to channel funds into housing and public works in poorer districts of Medellin, efforts that increase his local popularity while strengthening his organization's political capital. His political career ended after Rodrigo Lara Bonillo, the Minister of Justice of Colombia, denounced him for drug trafficking in 1983. Lara's assassination the following year by Medellin gunmen marked a decisive break between the cartel and the state. Escobar subsequently orchestrated a campaign of bombings, assassination, and kidnapping targeting Colombian institutions, including 1000, including 1989 bombing of Aviancia, Avianca Flight 203, and the attack on the DA's headquarters in Bogota, which together killed more than which together killed more than 100 people. He surrendered in 1991 under an agreement barring extradition to the United States and was confined in the self-built prison as Lord Cathedral. After escaping in 1992, he was killed on 2nd December 1993 in Medellin by members of Search Bloc of National Police of Colombia. Escobar's death accelerated the fragmentation of Medellin's network and coincided with shift towards more decentralized trafficking structures, including temporary rise of the Cali cartel and the growing influence of Mexican trafficking organizations. His legacy remains contested. Many Colombians condemn the violence and corruption he wrought, while some residents of Medellin's comunas remember him for funding housing and local infrastructure where state presence was limited. His former state, Hacienda Nápoles, is now a theme park and his life continues to be widely dramatized in popular media. So that's the brief story of Pablo Escobar. There's a lot still that I have to finish, but we'll end it over here so that we can continue the other part in the other episodes. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great time.